Lauretta ONOCHIE, your obsession with Ndigbo is sickening. This article is written by toire. Every now and then, ONOCHIE, you are featured in the gossip sections of various news platforms for spreading one gossip or the other about the Southeast and the larger Igbo nation. There, because your statements are mostly for nuisance value, and since you probably have nothing substantial to contribute to the President Muhammadu Buhari government, the only way you can maintain or justify your presence within the circles of the government is to continue to run your mouth against Igbo people. Never mind, you were appointed advisor on social media, which in this climb is often a euphemism for internet troll. Your motivation, of course, is the idea that Buhari and the Igbo are generally seen as not being in good terms. So to endear yourself to the president, you have to keep the tactics of using your tirades against the Igbo for cheap recognition. I also understand from experience that the key motivation for most pro-Biafra Buhari trolls on social media who swarm around your handles like bees is a certain Igbophobia. So to maintain their admiration of you and keep them swarming around you, you have to every now and then attack individuals of Igbo extraction or the Igbo nation in general. It doesn't matter how empty and even sickening your arguments are, they would amplify it and hail you as their star. And then you can go home satisfied that you are some sort of champion. You even call yourself a star as a result. When Allen Oyema, the CEO of West Africa's leading airline, Airpeace, was indicted by the US government for allegedly moving money into the country without following due process, you were the first to run your mouth against that gentleman. You suggested that he airlifted hundreds of Nigerians stranded in South Africa in the wake of the xenophobic attacks in the country because he had something to hide. What imprudence! This was at a time when most Nigerians, irrespective of religion or ethnicity, were calling for his protection in the interest of the nation. Your reason then was that the US only goes after lawbreakers. Well, how else can one display acute ignorance? May I remind you that the US President Donald Trump is still being accused of tax evasion and has just been impeached by the country's House of Representatives for abuse of presidential powers. Yet, he still has the support of his Republican constituency because, unlike you, they understand that there is no perfect system anywhere and that nobody is guilty just because he has been accused, even by the US authorities. Again, a certain Chinese phone maker, Huawei, is being accused by the US government of all manner of infractions. The company has indeed been banned from the US and other Western countries, and its CEO, Meng Wanzhou, arrested in Canada. But the Chinese government has since thrown its weight behind the company and is currently engaged in high-level diplomatic role over the development. This is because, unlike you and probably unexposed people who think like you, the Chinese government understands that it is primarily about national interest, and as far as it is concerned, Chinese interest comes first, just as America's come first for the American government. But of course, for the horde of the ignorant countrymen suffering from the worst form of inferiority complex, and to whom Americans are infallible gods, the accusation against Oyema must be gospel. And for them, American interests supersedes that of their own country and their own citizens. Your latest diatribe, which prompted this write-up, has to do with a piece attributed to you, now circulating on social media. In the piece, you are argued, among other things, that the issue of underdevelopment in my South is similar to that of the Southeast. Federal projects are rarely executed by those who nominated them as constituency projects. Funds for these projects are diverted to live luxurious lifestyles in Abuja, Dubai, and elsewhere, leaving the communities these projects were meant for high and dry. As usual, the write-up, which is bereft of substance, is popular among your followers who, like I said, are always willing to dive at anything anti-Igbo. This, I think, is also partly as a result of inferiority complex. As popular American pop star Nas sang some years ago, people hate what they can't conquer. Onochie, I say that your write-up is informed on ignorance or perhaps even mischief because of someone who has traveled to most states of Nigeria. I know for certain that Southeast states are some of the most developed in the country. Yes, there is Abia State, for example, which is largely in ruins because of years of neglect. But I'm sure you know that the Igbo are holding past and present government of the state responsible and not Buhari. But even as bad as the Abia State case is, it is still better than a number of other states in the country in terms of infrastructure and general standard of living. You went ahead to harp on constituency projects as if it is the reason the Southeast is not developed, as if every other federal government project elsewhere came through constituency projects. You pretended, or rather are too ignorant to know that the issue of legislatures misappropriating constituency projects is a national menace and not peculiar to Southeast. But then, anything to discredit the Southeast goes. May I also remind you that the Southeast continues to boast almost all developmental indices in the country. For many successful years, the zone has emerged top in all national exams, with all 5 states in it always in the top 10. In terms of literacy rate, the zone also has some of the highest in the country. Same, I'm afraid, cannot be said of the states and zones of your heroes and champions. At the same time, poverty rate is also minimal there compared to other zones. So what exactly is your point? Your mischievous attempts to suggest that the Igbo are holding Buhari responsible for not developing the Southeast cannot fly. That is not the case. What the Igbo have continued to complain about is the lack of federal government institutions in the Southeast. You should know, even if you know nothing else, that only federal government can build federal institutions. I must almost inform you that the only roads that are impassable in the Southeast are federal projects, not state ones. The state governors have done well in terms of road constructions. A number of them, like Willie Obiano and Dave Umahi, are indeed doing federal roads. I must almost commend the President Buhari for intervening on a number of the roads, not minding the slow pace of work. The President has also done more serious work on the second Niger Bridge than any government before his. However, more than that, what the Igbo want from Buhari is inclusion in government, but even more importantly, good governance. I can tell you for certain that most Igbo people who criticize the Buhari government do so to the extent that they think he has not performed to their expectations generally, whether in terms of economy, security, or in other fields. Then there is also the unfair treatment of pro-Biafra agitators who are killed at will for holding flags and marching in the streets. You argue time and time again on social media that you are not Igbo. One wonders why, having claimed so, even though I learned you are from Ika, Delta North and Delta State, an area generally regarded as the Igbo part of Delta, you still carry Igbo matter for head wherever you go. I, for one, accept wholeheartedly that you are not Igbo, although you bear Onochie, which is an Igbo name. There is not much else linking you to the Igbo. The Igbo nation is known to produce quality individuals and most especially outstanding women. Let's compare you, for example, with other Igbo women who have held positions in government at the federal level in recent years. There is Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, a proud Igbo woman from Delta North like you. She was 2 times Minister of Finance who remains a person of great repute, having worked at the highest levels at the World Bank. There is Aruma Ote, who served as Director General, Security and Exchange Commission. There is Chinelo Anohun Amazu, who was DG of PENCOM. Both women, having been relieved of their duties unfairly in Nigeria, have since been poached by international organizations that value substance. There is also Mrs. Obi Ezekwesili, another ex-World Bank economist and former minister. She remains a voice to be reckoned with in Nigeria and globally, Her positions are headline news in major media organizations. Let me also mention Buchi Emechita, one of Africa's finest novelists and a global icon who passed away a few years ago. Buchi was a proud Igbo woman from Delta Not Like You. She was a worthy Igbo daughter who flew the Igbo flag wherever she went. Now tell me how you compare with any of these women and many others I have not mentioned. Before you joined the Buhari government, what was your job? Hey, what was your pedigree? Oh, so yes, you cannot be Igbo, and since you are not Igbo, please do us a favor, focus your attention on whatever ethnic group you identify with and leave the Igbo alone. Stop using the Igbo nation to achieve cheap fame among the crowd of intellectual bereft people that follow you around. Oh, go. Hell, this particular person finish LAURETTA ONOCHIE. Hey, whoa, you know, the writer said that who was she before she became what she is now, as in the job she has been given, that should tell us before you join the Buhari government, what was your job, what was your pedigree. I think let the people who are following her, just like this person says, that those intellectual, the crowd that are following her, the the bereft of the intellectual bereft people that follow her around. In fact, that is this. There's nothing I can even say because everything has just been said in this particular place. So let's hear what people are talking about. Someone said this is an open letter to Onochie. My dear Onochie, please believe me, what happened to Ojus Okalu will happen to you. And you can't please a Muslim man if you are not from the same region and religion. Don't mind that woman. Muslim men are wow, this person are talking something I cannot say here. Someone said the writer has said it all about the negativity of this dumb woman towards anything or anyone Igbo nation. I've never heard the ignorant woman utter a word, good or positive or anything Igbo. Likewise, you never hear her talk when the matter is of other nation inside Nigeria. One wonders who she is making all these efforts to please by her anti-Igbo. Someone say, thank you so much. Sooner or later, she will see what she did to herself. No, they don't care. They believe in temporary enjoyment. When they get to that future, according to them, from their belief and mindset and their body language, that they will cross the bridge. But for the now, let them, they want to satisfy themselves. They always say, oh, opportunity comes but once. So they believe that the opportunity might not be there again. So since they have it, they just want to use it to the fullest. Someone say, I give great applause to the writer of this piece. Yes, LAURETTA, please leave Igbo alone. You said you are not an Igbo, then don't weep for us. So guys, I would like to hear from you. I really want to hear from you guys, from what has been said, the open letter to Onochie. Leave your comments below and let's have your take. Bye.